I was listening to some standard fairy tales on tape, and I heard the fairy tale of Snow White and mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all? And the voice speaks in the mirror. And I remember thinking, whose voice was that? Whose voice was that in the mirror? And then another question, why did she trust that voice to tell her the truth? And those two questions inspired a poem and a flash fiction story. Those questions, whose voice was that? And why did she trust that voice? I'm going to read the poem called The Writer's Moment. The Writer's Moment by Denise No. A wall of brick. My fingers touched, it disappeared. Asleep for a century, I woke to the sound of one hand clapping. Taking a breath, I flew to the sun. There is a story here. Okay? And then that story. The story is called The Fairy Tale Before Snow White. Once upon a time, a little girl lived with her mother in a beautiful castle. The child was a princess and her mummy was a queen, so they had many servants to clean and cook and sew, as well as teach the little girl. But the queen always brushed and styled the princess's hair. Every morning, mother and daughter went to the special room that only they could enter. In this room, they kept a large mirror. You are the fairest little girl in the whole country, Mummy told her. The child studied their two reflections carefully in the mirror. She saw that her eyes were the same color as Mummy's and similar in shape. Their glossy hair was almost the same tint and thickness, and their features akin. Mummy told the truth. She was the loveliest girl, for she looked just like Mummy, except that she was a child, and everyone knew the queen was the fairest grown-up woman of them all. When you grow up, my dearest, you will be the fairest woman in all the land, Mummy always reminded her daughter just before they left the special room. One day, a problem occurred to the princess. Mummy, what about you? When I grow up, you'll still be the fairest. I'll just be second to you. Someday I will die and I won't be here anymore. The little girl was terrified. Her face turned white and she said that she didn't want to live without Mommy. Promise you'll stay with me, she begged. So the queen vowed that she would never really go away. My spirit will be with you. The little girl was happy again. You're lying, the young woman screamed at the door. Dour and shamefaced servants. She called them scoundrels and villains and demanded that they take back their terrible lies. But a group of men servants came in with the beer, and the queen's body was on it. The new queen shrieked and wept. She pulled her hair and tore her clothes. For days, the daughter was inconsolable and wandered around the palace as one lost. Finally, she found herself in the special room. She saw that something very strange had happened to the mirror. It showed no reflection, only a dull gleam, as if blurred with tears. As the perplexed young woman stared, the mirror suddenly sparkled. Then it spoke. "Know this, O Queen, you are now the fairest of them all," the mirror said in Mummy's soft voice. Her grief disappeared. Pride swelled up in her breast. That pride grew every time the magic mirror told her she was the most beautiful woman in the land. So the vain queen's life would continue for many years, though not forever after. But that tale has already been told. I hope you enjoyed the writer's moment.